Soldiers are starving on the front line without any proper protein, and we are losing wars left and right because the hippies want our heroes to eat succotash and golden beets. No thanks, you patchouli perfumed pansies. I'll tell you what's going to win this war. Fucking meat. Enter the Army Natick Labs, which figure out how to take little shitty scraps of meat and form them all into a loaf, and albeit crude representation of something look like finer cuts of beef, chicken, and most importantly, swine. Flash forward a few years, and what do we got? Fat cats, that same government telling us that large amounts of red meat could be bad for you, and McDonald's freaks the fuck out. We got to find something to sell to these Midwestern turds, screamed a seething Ray Kroc from his own personal golden arches. His golden arches were shoe inserts he had made out of gold after he stole the concept of McDonald's. Enter a meat scientist, and we are not talking about a 15-year-old Kyle Kinane when he found a copy of Maxim magazine. Roger Mandingo, who took the Army's technological advancement and said, fuck the fillet of fish and try this on for size. I threw a rib cage mold on a Kaiser roll that looked like it had been vacuum sealed inside your mom's butthole. I don't know what I was trying to accomplish on this intro, but ladies and kitty cats, today on the pod, we are discussing the white whale of McDonald's menu. That's right. We are talking about the rib on No Accounting for Taste. And guess what? You're loving it.
Pal, you're good with words. You know that, man?
I think the gym is dumb.
Did Rachel walk in the room? Of course I've eaten a Baconator.
Man, if you ain't doing CrossFit, you can get CrossFit.
You're right. A long burger's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
That's your sitcom right there as a Mr. Fix-It-All who just can't fix his heart.
We will not be defending Atlantic City.
No accounting for taste. If it's something that somebody loves, let's try and celebrate it instead of shitting on it. Shane.
Yeah.
What a delicious episode we have before us.
That's right. I got extra napkins and everything today. I'm going to make a mess.
Oh, the McRib. This was an enlightening, a lot of enlightening information about the McRib that I would have, if I was still eating meat, I probably would now stop eating the McRib now. I don't really eat meat anymore, but man, the McRib, baby. What, yay or nay? Personally, for yourself.
I feel like I've only had it twice, man, but here's what I think. I recall
only
from
had it
because I was thinking about
twice.
it. Yeah.
I would eat 2 in one sitting. I couldn't order just one.
I feel like I had it, and I was like, when I was a kid, and then I had one in probably like the last 7 to 10 years, right? Yeah. And I remember the last time I ate it, I was like, this is just weird. That's what I felt about. Yeah. I didn't think it tasted bad though. I just remember thinking it was like just such a strange rubbery texture that I couldn't. Yeah. But I don't remember actively disliking it, or thinking it was disgusting. Just weird.
The sauce is for flavor, but also you don't want to see a rinsed off McRib.
No, it just looks like an old like the kind of like insulation people had that gave them cancer in their house when you tear it out.
Yeah. The fiberglass insulation. Yeah, just like it looks like something that's got run over so much, like roadkill that never doesn't resemble the animal anymore, but there's just the tire treads.
It looks like looks like a diabetic's foot where a doctor says, how are you still walking on this?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Ibuprofen and tequila, man. Yeah, I always love the McRib. I always love the McRib. Granted, I was much more of a daredevil eater back in the day.
I remember
that. You told me this is some weird shit, I'm putting it in my mouth. And the elusiveness got me. I mean, I had my own theories about it, which we'll get into. There's some reasoning as to why it's elusive.
There's some.
But this is just personal story. Yeah, this is just personal stories. I think it was good because it would come back. I would eat too many of them. I'd be like, this is actually fucking disgusting. And then it would go away. And I had always made the joke, it's like an ex-girlfriend that like you never realized how bad the relationship really was. And then she's back around. You're like, how bad can it be? You're like, my heart's broken and I got gonorrhea. You never remember how bad it was.
It's bizarre in that I think I always think it's strange that anything is seasonal at a fast food restaurant. So, or limited time. Seasonal is a weird thing to say for pork, but you don't think of anything as
am-
being that fresh, anyways. So
I almost
Like-
think it's like exposure to the sun. Like we can't let people have access to this for like every day because
oh, you think like
there will be class action lawsuits out the wazoo if somebody decides that they want to eat this every day. We'll give it to them.
it's just
and then
irresponsible
pull
of
back.
we found McDonald's line is serving the McRib freely.
Yeah.
I
Hey guys, my hair started falling out after week 3 of consuming this. Pull them till next year.
what's this? And then you show, does this look
Yeah.
cancerous?
We didn't do enough studies to see how this could affect people on a year-round basis. That's why it's limited time.
That's actually how they did the makeup for the War Boys in Mad Max Fury Road. They just kept feeding those kids that.
Yeah. Eat this, now lay in this tanning bed for a while. Oh, fuck.
Those are my only experiences with it. I truly, before, when you brought this up as a subject, I had no idea there was so much controversy around this thing, which is like, this seems right up my alley. Like all the weird.
The
all the
McRib
weird
is
shit
American folklore. Yeah, it's American folklore. This is like, this is part of our culture, Shane.
It's like jazz.
It's like what leprechauns are to the Irish.
It's as American as
and the
jazz
McRib.
or baseball.
Well, knowing that it's supposed to be based on like barbecue from South Carolina, which Jesus Christ, this is like the
We'll get
woman
into
who tried
some
to
of that,
restore
yeah.
the painting. Yeah. But knowing that, like, oh, this is already, I don't know if like people consider barbecue like an American food form, but then if that's like, and this is like the horrendous photocopied interpretation, it is truly American. It is the most American thing.
Yeah,
Of
it's
like stealing barbecue is I think traditionally black people taking
And Southern food, yeah.
creating the worst Southern food, so stealing it and putting it in the populace, just like Elvis did with rock and roll. That's what we got the McRib.
This shows you like how they say like a lot of barbecue and like Southern cooking techniques come from people getting served poor scraps of meat and like finding ways to cook them. This is like they multiplicity'd it into like Michael Keaton, like they're like, yeah, they did that when we gave everybody bad, poor food and they found a way to make it delicious. Let's make their delicious food even more delicious. And then you come up with Michael Keaton who's drinking toilet water and like throwing cat litter in the air and shit. So that's what the McRib looks like on First Circumstance. Yeah.
You can't clone a clone. That's when you get into real messy territory.
Yeah.
Well, I do. I mean, like I said,
Do you remember?
Do
you remember when it came out? Are you that?
I remember me and Randy Liedtke went to have a McRib off to see who could eat the most of them. I think I got through about 4.
How many did he go
ate
through?
like 7. He ate like 7 or 8 of them.
He's a big guy.
Also, you can get any topping you want on it. You can order it. So I was getting weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting cheese. I was getting mushrooms. I was getting every topping they had.
You
at McDonald's.
you get it. You don't take it standard off the line.
Just at the McRib off, I was like changing it up with each one I ate. But standard, the pickles and onions, I don't need anything more.
Hey
than
chef,
pickles
do
and
these
onions.
are these chanterelle mushrooms or are they something else?
Yeah. Are these fresh? When did these come in? Who's your guy? Who's your mushroom guy around town? I don't know if he's fresh. But it is funny though. Like I just saw NPR put some article up for like, oh, here's how to like grill a veggie burger at your summer barbecue so you know how to do it. And then the article is bullshit because then they just show a guy making it in a pan. I'm like, that's not grilling. You just got everybody like, hey, it's barbecue season. But the amount of people that are just triggered by the idea of fake meat that just responded like, step 1, throw it in the trash. And like the amount of people triggered by fake meat.
I love that
but
those
then be
people
like,
are on NPR, are commenting on NPR videos too.
Yeah, but then would be like, man, I love me McRib. Like, what amalgamation of different meats do you think you're eating? Like, a veggie burger is just so upsetting to you. The idea that it's not meat in your burger. It's like, bitch, you're eating like fucking, you're eating assholes.
Yeah, and here is my one. Not my one. I'm sure I have tons of quibbles about this. But the fact that people are like, some people are just like, it's not even real meat. It's like, Well, it is real meat. Like the McRib, it's just lesser trimmings, I guess, or whatever you would want to, like lesser cuts. But
Yeah.
I I don't understand why they're grosser if you're eating meat in general. So like, well, I don't know if I like this dish or this meal or if I don't know if I like the McRib, but what I'm saying is if you're eating pork shoulder or pork butt or belly, it doesn't it's not that much different to me than any of the rest of it, like than tripe or intestine or any of that. Yeah.
That was my thing like, why is one part of the animal delicious and another part's gross? You're already eating the animal. Why is it so taboo? Like, why is it so taboo to eat like sheep balls or whatever, Rocky Mountain oysters? Like, oh man, I'm eating the testicles. Like, what do dudes think that's gay? It's gay because you're eating sheep nuts.
It's just like some butcher in the 1800s just ripping it open. It's like, ugh, gross. He's just covered in blood, and he hasn't washed his hands in 3 years. You're like, fuck off. I don't think that's that.
Let me get to the good parts. Yeah. That's I agree with you there. Like, well, that was part of my issue with eating meat. Was like, well, why am I thinking like this is good and this is not good? And it's like, well, maybe I got to rethink my whole attitude toward like, why am I not eating the eyeballs out of the cow? You know, why am I not enjoying a big old plate of brains?
There's two things to consider with that. I think it's one is like, do you actually like the taste of that cut of like or of that part of the, let's say, pig? You know, so if you like pig intestine, fine. You know, like And I guess the other thing is to consider like, is one cut healthier than the other? And I think if you're eating pork belly, which is fucking super unhealthy, then the tripe or the eye or the hoof is not that much more unhealthy. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess those are the only two things you can really consider, like, or that I see.
I think it was, I mean, if you really think about it, like a burger is unnatural. It's meat that's ground up and it's in a circle. I think the McRib, the fact that they press it.
Well, they grind it too, right? Like and then they press it.
Well, it's like
they do a lot of
paper
things.
Comes from. We'll get into that. Yeah, this thing's been handled, but that it's pressed to look like there's rib bones in it. It's like, I don't know why that. I don't know who that's for. I don't know who,
I mean, it is kind of like when you see a footstool in the shape of a peep in some tacky person's house. You're kind of like, I don't like that. This is it's a little like Dr. Megorium Wonder Emporium for me. It kind of reminded me of your company logo, honestly.
Oh, the hot dog skeleton. Yeah. Well, that's funny because I'm like, hot dog skeleton. That's a funny name. I gave it to my friend because I was thinking of like a skeleton made up of individual hot dogs, and he just the artist just made like a X-ray of a sausage with it was just like a weird rib cage in the hole. I'm like, ooh, that's better than what I was thinking. But this it kind of reminded me of that. It's strange to bite into. It's the sauce is there, I think, for camouflage.
It is. I think so too. I think that's like. The sauce is pretty much because the color of it is so unappealing just on a bun.
Oh, yeah, the unsauced. It's gray. It's a gray product.
Yeah, gray meat. Ugh.
But, and again, if you're already eating fast food, I don't know how, like if you knew all the details of the fast food, like how Arby's roast beef is really just, again, a processed chunk that's sliced off, and it's just
is that what's Arby's?
It's not like
Arby's
one piece of beef. Yeah, it's like just one.
But this all goes into the sliced. And we'll get into this, but like it goes into the meat reformation that I was reading about.
That's we'll get to that. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at pictures of McRib, and I'm like, I would crush a McRib right now.
They don't. They don't look appealing to me, but I can see myself really enjoying one at the same time. But also, I ate 2 weeks ago. Ate a hamburger some guy cooked in the back of his pickup truck in New Orleans. So I like my judgment is like I don't remember it tasting poorly. If I can get past the idea, I think if you blind taste tested me with it, I would think it was fine.
Were you? I have to ask you about this burger. Were you tailgating or were you just walking past an alley?
Oh, we were. Was at a bachelor party.
Homeless?
This guy had a big griddle set up across the back of his truck, like where his toolbox would be. You know how New Orleans is. They do weird, fun shit like that. Or like,
yeah, it's kind of lawless. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I eat that stuff. I don't.
So
yeah,
I can't. I
wouldn't care about that.
I can't judge any. I don't think like if I'm doing that, that's at least as suspect as a McRib.
Yeah, I can side with. I think our argument here is like we could side with people that think it's disgusting, but don't turn around and just get a Big Mac and act like you're too good for McRib. If you're at McDonald's, eat all the shit that's at McDonald's.
Do you think that ironically the worst thing at McDonald's is a salad? Like you know that's going to suck the most.
It's been sitting there for 5 weeks.
Yeah. I get if that person exists,
too embarrassed.
I hope we hear from somebody today who is like, oh, I love McDonald's, but I can't do the McRib because to me, that's ugh.
Yeah, the criticisms are valid, but then I think it comes from the criticisms towards all fast food being processed and stuff. But like, if you're just snobby and think the McRib's gross, but think other fast food's fine, you're living incorrectly.
Yeah,
you're an uninformed individual.
You're a direct hypocrisy of yourself. Yeah.
You're a picky eater and a shitty eater simultaneously, which is an odd way to be. I'm like that. I still get fast food. Taco Bell's been very inviting. They're very clear which items are vegetarian. I'm like, hell yeah, man. I want that shit. I'm just trying not to eat animals. But I want trash food. I want fucking garbage.
Man, I think
plant garbage, not meat garbage.
Plant garbage. Yeah, you can do it all poorly, I guess, is what it comes down to. I just I think why don't we head into the break and then we can get into the rich, deep, but gluttonous history of this fucking sandwich. I can't wait. And the conspiracies are bountiful. Yeah, we'll go right back.
Things.
Guys, this is No Accounting for Taste on the All Things Comedy Network, and we'll be right back. Here's an ad from somebody, probably one of these days. Fuck. And we're back with we're back in the drive-through of this podcast. All right, let's just jump right fucking into this thing. God damn it. We're talking about the McRib today and the history of it. Charlene found a great video on YouTube, the history of the McRib, which I'm not going to try and explain it all, but you guys should check it out. It's in fucking insane. And
yeah, it's the Weird History Channel.
My intro, albeit thrown together haphazardly, did take some actual history from the research Charlene did. And Kyle, did you read about this yet? The beginning of the McRib or the beginning of meat reformation?
Yeah, the origin story of the McRib, because really this is kind of like an X-Men type of origin story. Like born out of economic necessity.
Yeah. So during wars, scientists in the army were trying to figure out how essentially to get protein to soldiers and meat to soldiers, and have it actually what's the word? Not spoil essentially. So, what is the Natick Institute? I think if I have that right. In the army, like had all these meat scientists. They were finding shavings and kind of like taking the lesser trimmings of the cow at this point, maybe it's cow or whatever animal, and kind of fucking putting them into a grinder and flushing them into a sheet and then adding a bunch of salt and water that brought out the proteins. And then they formed it and started putting it in MREs. And then fast forward, it turns out the government doesn't patent copy any of their intellectual property, so any business can use it. And this meat scientist, Robert Mandingo, or Mandigo, I don't know which one.
I mean, Mandingo, meat scientist Dr. Mandingo is pretty good.
We should have him drawn up as a character for them. Fuck it. He went to work for McDonald's with their executive, albeit like chef. This guy was like an accomplished chef, and they came together with this thing, the fucking McRib. When I guess beef prices were high and people were worried about eating too much red meat. So in came the McRib. And it's very similar to the way chicken McNuggets are made, from my understanding.
Yeah.
So that's the big history. So like, it's cool, I think, that it's like it was born out of necessity. It was trying to find a way to feed people. Now it's like it's been like Emma Jones sturdy from Super Bad all the way to La La Land, in the sense of like, it's kind of in reverse though. Like, here we are with this need and this idea to help people, and then they've bastardized it into this fucking sock of pork trimmings, essentially.
Well, there's an article in the Atlantic that, as it says, pork is a generous term, since the McRib has traditionally been fashioned from otherwise unmarketable pig parts like tripe, heart, and stomach. I have a question about what isn't pork. If you're just eating a part of a pig, isn't that pork?
Yeah, it's all. Yeah, so this guy's like being snooty.
Oh, somebody's snooty at the Atlantic? Okay.
Yeah, no shit.
Thought of it. It really is written like, presumably few of the restaurant's patrons would line up for a pressed McTripe.
Fuck you. Yeah.
The definition of pork is technically the definition of pork is the flesh of a pig used as food. So I guess the organs and stuff wouldn't count. Technically, they'd be separate.
What about beef? What if you're eating beef?
Beef.
Yeah, so like
beef guts.
Mary. The flesh of a cat. Same.
So it's only flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And organs aren't flesh. They're
organs are organs.
Well, but the skin is the largest organ on the human body.
But you wouldn't call it beef heart. Like
what?
Like you would say beef heart. You wouldn't say beef skin. Sounds disgusting.
This conversation is making me
beef
so
skin is what we
that
call
I'm
condoms.
Vegetarian. Y'all got any meat wrappers back there?
So lips and assholes don't fall under the term pork. So the sound at Atlantic is technically correct. Okay.
Well, they probably should. I just think they should. I think this is bullshit. I like, there's this article, another one from the Atlantic. Is this the same one that you were reading? The McRib's perversity is the headline is the McRib.
Probably, yeah.
Enjoy your
symptom.
symptom.
So, yeah. So the Atlantic's going into some French interpretation of desire or something. I don't know. He's fucking
fucking
exhausting. I think I will. Yeah, the Reformation. That's done a lot. I mean. That's the nuggets already. That's fish. I still eat fish, and I love me some fake crab, and I know that's the same thing. I know that's fish slurry pushed together into like little hot dog shaped crab sticks.
Yeah, I don't mind that. And then also like, like a hamburger patty is a reformed thing to some degree too. Like,
yeah, ground beef. Like you didn't get the ground beef from one cow at McDonald's. Like it's thousands of cows just being like ground up somewhere and all mushed together.
If one of the arguments against it is that it's like reformed and shaped weirdly, I think the reason anybody has a problem with it is just because it looks so goddamn unnatural. But it's a thing that happens to all kinds of cuts of ground pork, ground beef, ground chicken, ground turkey, anything like that. So yeah.
Remember when Burger King had the long burger?
I think that we mentioned that in the intro. I think you mentioned the long burger.
Did I talk about long burgers?
No, like in the theme music, I think you talk about the long burger.
Oh, okay. I was talking about, yeah. Well, I keep going back to the idea of a long burger. I like that. Yeah, burgers should be longer, not taller. But like you could press it in anything. Why not press it into like the local sports team logo? You know, really.
I mean, that must happen, right? Like at state, that's what like where state fairs come in very handy. They're just like
exactly. Why? I mean, I'm not only did I enjoy the McRib, I think they're not reaching their potential by not pressing it into different fun shapes.
Would you eat it if it was in the shape of Ronald McDonald? Like how far does the branding go for you?
I don't think like a logo. I don't like a face slathered in barbecue sauce, just looking like Freddy Krueger. Probably no. Probably like it's already
that's a
horrifying.
Bit, yeah, that's probably where the line.
So like you get like a Mickey Mouse ice cream from an ice cream truck where it's supposed to be Mickey's face, but you know it's like melted and refrozen.
Yeah,
a few
and you're
times
like, oh, I'm gonna eat his ear, num 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 num.
And you get it, and it just looked like an acid attack. You know, everything like one eye's dripping off, like that with an actual product made of flesh. I think that'd be a rough one.
It's a little bit like I can kind of I can see where you're going. That might be a little too much for me.
Yeah, I don't want to eat. Yeah, like a gingerbread man works because it's a cookie. But if you like, hey, I got this bologna that's just
it doesn't really work with savory. Like
no, it doesn't. It does not at all.
Yeah, that's very true.
If you shaped this guy's made of meat,
if you shaped a piece of chicken into something that actually resembled like a cartoon chicken, I think it really might fuck with you a bit.
Well, yeah.
I mean, in Portland, one of the best things about floating down the river is getting fried shapes when you come off the river, and it's always chicken or meat or something. I don't know what it is, but there's triangles and octagons and at the mini mart at the top of the hill.
Oh.
Well, those are shapes, though.
They're shapes.
Those aren't shapes.
Yeah, I mean, there's like I was like, I don't look at a Picasso and be like, man, I really want a McRib. Let's try and keep shapes. Which
is closer to it. I think it's more awkward when people get like the photos on cakes now. Like, hey, you just turned 5. Here's your face on a cake, and we're gonna cut into it. Like,
yeah. Or if it's a memorial, it's even worse. It's like,
you buying a lot of cakes for funerals? A lot of funeral cakes?
I mean, some people like to comfort eating. I'm just trying to help out here. All right, 11 incredible facts about the McRib, everybody.
Yahoo Finance, credit to the article. This is
Thank
from
you.
the Yahoo Finance page.
Do you want to take one? We'll just go 1 and 1 here, buddy.
Let's do it because these are fascinating.
Okay.
Well, here I'll go first. The McRib came about because of a shortage of chickens. So I guess we were running out of chickens. First, Renee Arend, McDonald's first executive chef and inventor of the Chicken McNugget. Imagine that you invented. Hey, you know how like you got like chickens kind of tough. You just get a wing or something. I've been pulling the meat off hundreds of them, stirring them up, just stirring hundreds of chicken meats, and then I cookie cutter out whatever comes out of the vat when it's done.
In my laboratory.
That's what it was. The Chicken McNugget was so popular when it was first introduced in 1979 that demand quickly outstripped chicken supply. People wanted fucked up chicken slurry bits so much they ran out of chickens. That's wild. So legendary pork sandwich was developed out of necessity. Franchises that didn't have the Chicken McNugget needed a new hot-selling product. That's when Aaron scrambled back to the test kitchen.
What we'll get to this point. That kind of leads to something a little bit. It's like that McDonald's itself is such a huge entity that they can create a supply and demand issue. And we'll talk about that weird part in a little bit. But
this was in 1979.
Yeah, I mean, but they were massive then too. I don't know if they're bigger. But like that they can create. If McDonald's just stops being like, well, they talk about this actually in one of the videos I saw. It was like they stopped using pigs that were in like really confined pens. I don't know what they were called. So they have to be like not free range, but they have to be able to walk around and stuff now.
Yeah.
But it really sent like the National Pork Council into a frenzy because they had to start finding all these like people who could serve meet the standards that McDonald wanted for the treatment of the pigs, and I guess it was very lacking. So that creates a shortage of the McRib.
The industry was just like horrible to the animals.
Yeah, shocker. Okay.
Fucking McDonald's had to go getting on its high horse. Wait a minute, horse, that's an option.
The McRib was inspired by Southern barbecue. Renee Aren modeled the McRib after the barbecue sauce slathered pork sandwiches he ate during a visit to Charleston, South Carolina.
The McRib being inspired by Southern barbecue is like knowing that Fred Durst was inspired by Kurt Cobain. It's like, you're not anything near your inspiration.
It can't be an angry sandwich. The decorated French trained chef who once whipped up fancy culinary creations for the Drake Hotel is also credited with coming up with the unique shape of the sandwich. Although the McRib doesn't contain a single bone, Aren suggested the meat be patterned after a slab of ribs instead of a classic round patty.
I'll call bullshit on that doesn't contain a single bone. There's bones in there. You tell me you're grinding up skin and stomach lining, but a bone ain't sneaking in there?
Can you think of another person in history who was like something similar? Like, I'm at the Drake Hotel preparing like anything for New York socialites. Anybody who wants to go to these like the Met Gala is going to eat at the Drake Hotel. And he's just like, I'm going to pivot real hard, guys. And then move into McDonald's test. Like, I don't know who this guy is, but truly, I feel like he's a guy who just did whatever he want. Like, I don't know how you make that move. If you get like classically trained chefs moving from that. Does this make sense?
I bet it's a lot of money. I bet that's how you make that move.
Yeah.
But also, because think about like these like fancy chefs that are rethinking how to present food in a new way and trying to be avant-garde. I bet if you proposed the idea of the McRib in like some Michelin star restaurant, like we've taken it's a new take on Southern cuisine in the sense that they took the inedible parts and we took those, but we rendered them down and created them into, it's pate. It's what pate is, right?
I think so. You could be wrong, but like
I'm going to the boards. Let me go to the boards.
But I like what you're saying. I think it's like just
pate is just liver, isn't it?
You might be right.
Oh.
I think what is the point you're trying to make?
Often made of pig meat and parts, but wild game like snipe, partridge, venison, all kinds of shit. You can make anything into pate.
Okay, so it is pate, kind of. I guess.
Pate is mashed into a fun shape?
Is what you're saying is like, if it had been presented by another, like a more illustrious place or something a little more higher end or high art or high concept, it might not have such a goddamn. Yeah, I think you're right, because like there's this place in the West Village here that makes like a lemon cello kind of thing, like this lemon cake thing in the shape of a lemon. It's real cute and everybody loves it and everybody waits in line and pays $15 for, something that's this big. But I think mostly it's just that it's meat. It's that it's flesh. That's what's the gross part about it. Cause I think it goes back to what we were saying about the sweet thing with like, I think it's the package it's coming in. If it was coming from another place, people might be a little more, I
think I broke it down. I think it's pate, a type of pate for the masses. And that's why maybe you got a fancy chef. He's like, don't tell him I'm just making little bones in the pate shape and add a little coagulant to make it firm.
You imagine somebody just being like just giving a nice chef's kiss.
There was some video where people took like fast food items and just basically like did what they do to meat products to make this. They reprocess them, like blend down the nuggets and recreate them in a different way and use this all from fast food. And then presented it to food critics and like, oh, this is fantastic. Like, yeah, that's a number 2 meal from Burger King.
There's a video of that?
I don't know where I don't know where it is, but they like rethought, like reinterpreted all the fast food items.
I'd love to see
food
that.
critics like, this is great. Yeah.
The inverse of that is if somebody tried to make a fancy McRib, I would probably be pretty upset.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, just let it be trash. Like, there was all those Condé Nast videos, I think, where they were doing like pizza rolls and bagel bites, but like nice versions of them or whatever. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Stay away from my stuff.
Yeah. That's the neighborhood over, buddy. Get over there. I don't want you. Yeah.
I'm eating this because I want to eat it, not because, oh God, I just wish I could be in a 5 Michelin star restaurant.
Yeah.
I
God
could
forbid
eat better.
you
I can
enjoy
make something
it,
at home. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go through another. The McRib is a product of restructured meat technology. A Wren came up with the idea and designed. A Wren came up with the idea and design of the McRib, but it's a professor from the University of Nebraska named Richard Mandigo or Mandingo who developed the restructured
Dick Mandingo.
Who developed the
Dick
restructured meat
Mandingo,
product
the
that the McRib
meat products
is actually made of. According to an article from Chicago Magazine, which cites a 1995 article by Mandingo, restructured meat product contains a mixture of tripe, heart, and scalded stomach, which is then mixed with salt,
coffee.
Mixed with salt and water, extract proteins from the muscle. The proteins bind all the pork trimmings together so that it can be remolded into any specific shape. In this case, a fake slab of ribs. Yes!
It's kind of unimaginative to make it a slab of ribs if you can mold it into anything. I go back to my original argument. Fun shapes. Like a foot. Like a footprint. It's the Bigfoot of sandwiches. You know what? If Burger King took it like the Bigfoot of sandwiches, we have the elusive Bigfoot sandwich, and like it's just a McRib, but it's shaped like a Bigfoot. That's fun.
Hey, I know you kids are real tired after your big football game. Don't worry, I got all these McRibs shaped into football cleats for you guys to eat. Like,
I got Bigfoot burgers.
Yeah.
Make it shaped like a flip flop, since that's kind of, I think it's made out of the same stuff as flip flops. Yeah, restructured meat product. It is like when they like mechanically separated chicken. When everybody heard that part about the chicken nuggets, which I don't know. Yeah, I really needed to know what other kind of separated chicken there was to know if I should be outraged or happy it's mechanically separated. Like, these chickens are just pulled apart by hounds, and then we wrestle it out of their mouths. These are mechanically separated, so it's better.
The restructured meat product. It sounds like you're moving, you're changing, you're switching up what shifts the strippers get at a titty.
You know how many times did that term
I gotta
go
restructure
illegal?
the meat product.
Yeah. Overpressed pork item. You can't say pork. Okay, all right. Galvanized pig. No. Restructured meat. No. All right, that seems like it clears. That clears legal.
Hey, what if we say like reformed fowl? Absolutely not. That's no good either. Oh man, What else do we got?
Well, now the other one said Richard. See, this is the problem with journalism. Now this article from NPR says it's Roger Mandigo, not Richard Mandigo. He's a University of Nebraska animal science professor.
They called him a meat scientist in the other.
Well, animal science and meat scientist, probably a little bit of both. Yeah. Pork producers wanted to see more pork on the menu, and they're targeting McDonald's. That's what was happening. They wanted to create a product with pork trimmings that could be. So isn't that weird that like there's lobbies to get you to like eat beef, like you realize like that. There's a lobbyist telling. Yeah, there's a lobbyist in Washington going like, hey, we need to make sure people keep eating beef. Well, but isn't it bad for them? That's not important.
Well, the economy is what's important.
We are giving you money to make sure the laws will allow us to sell pig guts.
Listen, Senator McConnell,
public.
I have a surplus of hooves in Nebraska, and I need you to find a
Listen, we can make them edible, and we can change the terminology. Well, you'll never know it's hooves. All right, go for it.
Well, yeah, I guess there is a we'll do one or two more of these strange facts, but the entire McRib sandwich contains about 70 ingredients, which if you're looking at it, it doesn't look like it should have that many. As it appears out of the box, the McRib sandwich consists of just 5 basic components: pork patty, barbecue sauce, pickles, sliced onions, and a sesame bun. But as recently reported by Time magazine, a closer inspection shows its ingredient list. It totals around 70. This includes azocarbonamide, it's some fucking chemical, a flour bleaching, azodecarbonamide, a flour bleaching agent often used in the production of foam plastics. The entire sandwich has 500 calories, 26 grams of fat,
flip-flop.
44 grams of carbs, and 980 milligrams of sodium, which I'm just guessing is a lot, but I don't know.
It seems like it's pretty hearty. I don't think that's not a athlete food. I'm saying that. Well, I said McRib debuted in 1981, disappeared in 1985. Disappeared is a great way to explain the lack of presence for this. It's like we don't know what happened to it, man. The plant blew up. Guy ran off with the secrets. I like to think that even people at McDonald's don't know where it goes.
Yeah,
one weird guy with a briefcase handcuffed to his wrist shows up for with the new McRib contracts.
It's like a more erratic cicada bug. Like you can't even.
You can't count on it. You don't know where it's going to go. Yeah. But they say that's the marketing technique. Is that
that it's like
the fact that you can't keep its enthusiasm up the whole time. So the fact that it's limited time only, it keeps it enthusiastic. It's like a genius marketing technique of like, oh, it's got a little cult thing. It was on The Simpsons,
Yeah, it's the rarity is the sandwich. It's kind of like when an aging rock band goes on tour. They're like, this could be the last time we do it.
It got worked on me every time I saw that banner go up. I was like, oh shit, McRib's back.
I love that you love this.
I do.
What was it? There's also speculation that the McRib. This is what I wanted to talk about, actually. That the McRib is really just a big commodity traded by McDonald's. The All's Willie Staley argues that whenever the sandwich springs up, hog prices are almost always in a trough, which I guess means low. Here's more of his argument on why McDonald's behaves as like a trader. Fast food involves both hideously violent economies of scale and sad end users who volunteer to be taken advantage of. What makes the McRib different from this everyday horror is that at McDonald's is huge to the point that it's more useful to think of it as a company trading in commodities than it is to think of it as a chain of restaurants. It is made of pork, which makes it a unique product in the QSR world, and it is only available sometimes but refuses to go away entirely. Did I read that right? Does that make sense?
Well, I know. Pork price, I know because it's not a permanent thing, they can shift when it's available. But what about this? Yeah. Number 7 on the Yahoo article of Weird Facts. Individual restaurants can actually order the ingredients for the McRib at any time. The McRib pops up at McDonald's locations across the country sporadically. It's so random because the individual restaurants are able to offer the McRib whenever they feel about it. Now I feel betrayed.
This goes into that McRib. There's a McRib locator page. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's only 2 spots right now.
Yeah. And also,
McRib is only available in 2 places right now.
It is also only served in Germany and Luxembourg year-round. So, I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Germany and Luxembourg know what's up. The only recent sightings are we got one out here in Bend, Oregon, and another one down here in, where are we at? Evansville, Indiana. That's it. That's the. Now I feel like you could, if you franchise the McDonald's and we're just like, fuck it, we only serve McRib. We ain't even putting the other shit on the menu.
Yeah, if you did the McDowell's, kind of like the Coming to America version of it, it's like
But I like a rogue McDonald's franchisee that's like, nah, we just do McRib. Can I get a Big Mac? No.
It's crazy that they can serve them at any time they want, and then they only and they don't serve them all the time. But I guess it's like, I mean, it goes back to the rarity of it or whatever. But
they'd have you think that.
Maybe it's.
I think it's like the healthcare system.
Yeah.
Ooh. They can do it. They just don't. They keep you under their thumb. They keep you guessing. They keep you wanting it. It's like they're just not being sluts about it, So I guess I got to commend them on that part. It's like, hey, why buy the cow if you get the milk for free? Hey, we got McRib all the time. Now I'm not interested in the McRib anymore.
I do like that, to think about it in the way of like, sometimes a pizza stops tasting like pizza after a while. You can't have the treat you want every day. It ceases to be a treat.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, the junk food that is designed to just stimulate all the worst parts does lose its effectiveness.
Yeah. And then if you have to throw out like 1,000 McRib patties into your dumpster at a McDonald's in the middle of July,
God.
Jesus Christ, that would smell. That's bad.
Nuclear sized raccoons.
It's just the kind of thing like what you remember. It's very much. Remember that scene in Tiger King where they get the Walmart trucks of meat that people have touched and like. Oh, it's similar to that.
It is.
Yeah. Well, all right, everyone. We'll be right back with some calls in the litter box after this. All this McRib talk is. I think it's the history of this thing is super fascinating, but whatever. Let's go to break and get the calls in. I don't know what to fucking say.
I'll still defend it. There's only one comment on this whole Yahoo article with the 11 weird facts, and it's from one guy named Frank who just typed gross. It's the only comment on the whole article.
Yeah.
Gross. Frank says gross.
Hey, I think we should both comment on it. I think it's great. Fuck Frank.
Yeah. Suck it, Frank.
That could be. I'm gonna comment on it right now.
All right. Anyway. You weigh in and we'll be back with the calls.
Yeah, baby.
Well, everybody, we're back. McRibs, I feel like we touched a nerve. I think we touched a nerve and some other parts of your innards when discussing the much maligned McRib sandwich. And I'm excited to hear what people think. I'll still defend it, even though I don't even eat meat anymore. I'll defend the McRib as being a treat.
That's how you know it's a
weird,
good thing.
Gross treat. Yeah.
Let's just take the first call.
Let's hear them.
McRib, more like McBag of shit.
All right. We've gone
can't argue with
80s,
that logic.
The 80s hack comedy trope of throwing the. Can I do one of my earliest jokes? Can I do one of my earliest jokes ever did, Shay? I said for St. Patrick's Day, McDonald's is coming out with a corned beef sandwich. It's called the Mc. Oh, that's just what it's called.
I don't like it.
I've been a great comedian since the start.
Yeah, you sure have, buddy.
Charlene liked it.
I did.
Oh, of course she did.
Here's the next one.
Hey, Kyle and Shane. About the McRib, it is a marketing ploy from McDonald's because I know for a fact if it was available year-round, nobody would fucking buy it. It's trash.
All right. I don't know if I agree with the trash statement, but that's what I was saying too. It's like, Shane, to reiterate what you were saying, eventually people would indulge and then realize it's not that great.
Yeah, you gotta.
It's why you don't. Yeah, it's why you don't have birthday cake every day.
Yeah.
All right, good point. No, I agree.
I
agree
know.
with
Like
him.
it is a marketing. it's scarcity and the weirdness around it is what makes the sandwich like.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
carnival
it's like,
food. It's it's an elephant ear, you know.
Yeah, it's
which
like
is actually might be one of the ingredients.
Let's do another call for God's sake. Kyle's all
Hey,
bouncy.
Kyle and Shane. So the only thing I have to say about the McRib is that there was a woman who worked as the stocking manager at a grocery store where my dad was a bread vendor, and she asked him to go to McDonald's. They were serving breakfast, and she asked him to go to McDonald's and get an Egg McMuffin with a McRib instead of sausage. And ever since then, I've been too grossed out to even think about trying one. So yeah, bye.
Okay.
That's a gnarly combo.
So,
I'm not gonna say it's egg cheese. Now, if you had like a breakfast sausage, would be a
But
pork
sausage- yeah. So again, it's just the shape. It's the image of
hanging off the side, all weird.
and it's the image of the egg on the ribs.
On paper, it doesn't sound so obscene.
Visually, it's a real mind fuck.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, yeah. I get why that would scar me too. But the first roller coaster I ever got on broke down at the very top of the first hill, and I've been on a roller coaster since, buddy. Let's give it a shot.
I'm going to ask this just as a food question. Barbecue sauce with eggs, yay or nay?
I got no problem with that.
People do ketchup with eggs. I always thought that was gross.
I think that is gross. But I put hot sauce on eggs. But yeah,
I do too. I put hot sauce.
Eggs are like tortilla chips in some regard when it comes as a vehicle for sauces.
A1 with eggs is good. So if you're making scrambled eggs and you just throw a little barbecue sauce in while you're scrambling it,
I'd go for that.
I think I'm going to try something tomorrow. Honestly, caller, you might be disgusted. I think that lady was onto something.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't care about the McRib, but the people who trash people who like it, they're still eating McDonald's. Oh, I'm going to go eat a double quarter pounder with cheese. I'm an elitist fuck. No, you hate people that eat McRibs because you think you're better than them? Losers.
Amen, brother.
I'm looking.
The point of the whole show.
This is what gives me hope.
Showdown.
This is what gives me hope that I am not a fucking just floating out to sea on my own. There's other people out there like me.
Yeah.
Fucking
man.
elitist. I love that guy.
Yeah. Well, and hey, man, and wait till they all find out it's still just pate anyway. So we're all like, take down the pate people. That's it. We're gonna ruin it for them up there. Make it cheap for everybody. High class food available to everybody. Thanks to no accounting for taste. Next caller.
What's up, guys? My name is Jim. Love your show. Shane posted that he wanted us to weigh in on the McRib, and in general, I think we can all agree that the McRib is shit. But I do think there is a certain value that sometimes you want to get drunk enough that you eat something. It might be a bacon-wrapped burrito. It might be a McRib, right? But the McRib fills that hole that you're going to eat when you're drunk. And when you wake up the next morning and shit, you look in the toilet and wonder what happened last night. And that's the only way that people change their life. Thank you, guys. Love your show.
I just want to say right now that this guy could have been following either of us, and I don't want that to be an indictment on my.
I like that he said it fills a hole, and then still also talked about shitting it out without referencing a double entendre of it filling a hole. I don't think it's ever wrecked my insides.
Sometimes it's the tool for the job, I guess is what he's like.
Oh yeah, sopping up a booze night
with a bag of baby carrots is not going to get it done. Yeah.
No, you need bread. You need something like this. The spongy McRib that's gonna go in and expand like a life raft just to soak up the alcohol.
As soon as you go, it's just like when a plane crashes in water and they just kick open the door.
Slides.
Boom, boom, boom,
the
boom,
emergency
boom.
slide just and then brings all the booze into it.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I don't agree that it's necessarily shit, but I understand what. Yeah, sometimes. You need.
It does do a service, and I'm still on supposed to. I don't think I would order it, but I got no issues with this thing. The more I read about it, though, the more I had an appreciation and a distaste for it. It's a divisive fucking meal. That's all I'm gonna. This is the sandwich is the Kanye of food. Next caller.
I dig it.
Hi, Shane and Kyle. This is Tim McLaughlin. First time, long time. I saw Shane's Instagram talking about McRibs, the greatest sandwich that McDonald's makes. I love McRibs. I went to Oktoberfest and blacked out, and on the way home bought 2 McRibs and woke up with the boxes on top of myself. I introduced my girlfriend, Micah, to the McRib sandwich, and she found it disgusting. So we broke up. But yeah, McRib's best sandwich. Thanks. Have a nice day, boys.
I know. He's from Indiana. Tim.
She didn't last. You know, there are certain things you gotta know about somebody if you're gonna spend the rest of your life with them.
Somebody has to be willing. Your partner needs to be willing to make concessions with you. If you look at the McRib as a tool, which is essentially what it was invented as, meat reformation, it fills a certain need. You don't use it to fucking wash your car, but you do. It has a place and a use for it. So I think it's fine. I can see myself in the conditions of being drunk and wanting to like fill my stomach getting a McRib. But if I'm going to get fast food, I'm not judging, but I don't think I would get it in the middle of the day.
It's not a sober item. There's a lot of food that you don't eat. Yeah, they're not like sober items.
Yeah.
Jack in the Box. Anything from Jack in the Box is not a sober item.
Yeah, I love those tacos.
I want to know more about this guy breaking up. Shane, was there anything a potential mate or partner could eat in front of you that you'd be like, this isn't going to work?
Nah, I'm pretty lonely right now.
Okay, yeah, you're the wrong person to ask for this.
It is probably a better question to ask my sad partner, whoever it is at the moment.
It's definitely that's the lopsided.
Shane has runny eggs for breakfast. Are you guys going to have sex that afternoon? Probably not.
The first time Rachel got Pizza Hut on her own, I was like, "Oh, I've cheapened you." You were always better than this. And now she's like, it's also because where we live, everything closes at 8. Then we're like, we eat dinner at 9, and it's like there's nothing open. But she's like, I like this one. I'm like, oh no, what have I done?
Meat lovers, baby, you ruined that poor girl.
Dragging you down to my level, and I feel terrible about it.
Yeah.
Hey fellas, it's your boy Evan down in New Orleans. The McRib is fine. Like, in regards to promotional fast food items across the spectrum, it's probably in the top 5. But let me take you back in time to Oregon City, Oregon, circa 1998, Gardner Middle School, where Tuesdays were known as pork rib on a bun day. Pork rib on a bun is exactly that. It's just pork rib on a bun, also known as a McRib. But this sandwich had such a hold on the kids at that school, it was unreal. Like, every Tuesday, kids would, like, beg their teachers to let them out of class early so that they could get a spot in line before they would sell out. And it got to the point where these old lunch ladies had to limit the amount of sandwiches that kids could buy because young entrepreneurs were coming in, buying, like, 5 at a time, and then posting up at tables in the cafeteria and selling them for like 3 times as much as they were selling for in the food part. So, you know, if you're the McRib, it's not saying a lot that a public school district sandwich as such high praise versus when you're just like a fast food restaurant. Thanks, guys.
That's awesome. So that means it's not just McDonald's marketing. It is the idea of the sandwich itself.
Yeah. They're ready. Man, they really, from cradle to the grave with these fucking bastards, huh?
Restructured meat patties are a hit.
Yeah.
Pork, I mean, of all the meats that I would eat, I think pork is the most flavorful. If my memory serves me correctly.
Yeah, I guess.
I love a ham. I love a pork sausage, a bacon.
I don't love ham. Pork sausage, though. Bacon, pork belly. Whew, baby. Daddy like.
So think about all that stuff. Now we think about how good barbecue sauce is for almost any occasion. You could, if somebody was dipping vegetables in barbecue sauce, I wouldn't get pissed at them.
Fucking, I'd say, hey, I like the way you do things. That's what I would say to that person. Yeah.
So you're taking pork, which is delicious meat, no matter how it's pulled apart and reassembled,
grinding it up,
and a barbecue sauce,
and then you're slapping it on white bread, which is fine by me. I have no
such an
issues
efficient.
With this,
it lets the meat shine. Yeah. So it's the flavor. It's not just the marketing. That story proves that this shit's good to kids who don't know better and adults who are trash like ourselves.
Yes, and I do what it just fills a need. It is what it was created to do. It's doing. I love it. I think you eat it when you need to eat it. It's fucking a perfectly fine sandwich. People who shit on this thing are assholes. They're not even trying.
I think we've come to a conclusion that get down with that McRib and that you can solicit your local McDonald's to order some. I wonder what the bare minimum that they have to order to like get the ingredients. Like if you just went into a McDonald's and they're like, we have to at least order 200, like do it. I'll pay you. I'll pay the owner of this
I got
McDonald's.
3 brothers is what I would say.
But if you like put a down payment on, like, oh, we can't take the financial risk, like, I got you. I will make them. Just sell them to me.
John, look at me. We served together in the war. I will get you through this guy.
Oh, you yelled Mick so loud. I know. Like, what? Are you finishing the Donald's?
I was gonna do a bit and I fucked it up. Yeah.
But if you could just buy like 100 of them for yourself, like give me the kit, like the way you can get from Portillo's, you can get like the beef dip kits, so they send you the beef and the buns and the au jus sauce and everything. If you could do that from McDonald's and be like, guys, like mafia style, like they fell off a truck, come by Sunday at 3. Yeah. McRibs,
right after
dude.
church.
All you can eat.
I could see a McRib party in someone's backyard in Brooklyn being a huge hit. Like the way people go on Lebowski crawls or whatever. Those fucking
Oh, do you think because it's in Brooklyn, people would eat it ironically? Like nobody has to see them walking out of an actual location, but like, oh god, McRib party. How
I wrote an article for Eater after I worked out and ate Popeye's chicken. So like, it doesn't have to be ironic for me.
Well, if I have to talk about the McRib, I gotta tell you, it's delicious. The way that juicy ass meat just goes all over the place, it's amazing. And the sauce and the pickles and the onions, good God almighty, it's like an orgasm in your mouth. Oh God damn it.
Is that it?
I think that was guerrilla marketing. I think it was somebody that works for McDonald's.
Oh God damn it.
Sow the seeds.
All right.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I like this guy's attitude. Kinane.
Bless your heart, brother. Yeah.
Let's put a little wind in our sails and head for that sunset into this McRibby ocean.
I might have to break edge next time I see one come around town here.
Ooh. I have a convert. A little bit of a backslider.
That's the problem. I want to eat it. I'll see if Rachel wants to split it. She'd be like, no fucking way.
I don't know, man. You got her on the Pizza Hut chain.
Yeah, but that's all. That's an hourly thing. McDonald's. Yeah, I don't think she'd eat it in the day. We'll see. But if it shows up, I'll let you know if it shows up around here.
I can't wait to hear about it. We should go get McRibs next time we're together.
Yeah. God. Let's do it.
All right,
I'm hungry now, dude. I'm hungry right now.
Me too. I got to go get something to eat after this.
Let's go fuck up something nasty.
That should be the slogan for when the McRib is back. Let's go fuck up something nasty. The McRib.
Yeah, man. Put the hurt on.
Well, guys, I think we did it again. We're 140 episodes in and finding the positive in something. The McRib is a necessary tool for your drunk night, whatever, your drunken shenanigans, or for soldiers who needed more protein on the front lines during the First World War, whatever it fucking was. Like, meat reformation, something I do when I sit down.
Oh. No. Of all the things I had to look at for this episode, visualizing that was the worst. If it's good enough for the soldiers, it's good enough for the average American. McRib, go get one. Over and out. No accounting for taste. Best podcast that's ever existed.
Tune in next week when we discuss not paying your taxes. It worked out for someone.